Thanks for joining us on a Victory Tuesday. It is Arrowhead Allies. We have such a show for you. It's all treats, no tricks here on Arrowhead Allies tonight, Noah. Now, we're going to have, of course, our guy, Brian Bichon from Hot 103 Jams joining us in just a moment, but also Patrick Mahomes' mother, Randi Mahomes, the wonderful, the beautiful Randi Mahomes, going to be coming on to talk to us about her new Gameday Couture collection, her parent sport academy, and all the things going on in the Mahomes family. She's a grandma. She's Grandy, Noah. And we're coming off a big win. Chiefs on Monday Night Football take down the Washington Commanders 28-7. So we welcome all of you in here. Let's just hold hands and glide our way into Halloween, man, because it is spooky season.
It is indeed, and boy, in spooky season, everybody got to eat. Hopefully the Chiefs aren't doing that, cannibalism. Hopefully we're sticking it to the football field and catching footballs, and that's what happened on Monday Night Football as the ball spread around. Mahomes still looks like leader for MVP. Baker Mayfield didn't have a great game. Josh Allen did, but he had two rough games before that, so looks like it could just be down to a Josh Allen-Patrick Mahomes race once again, as we kind of expected.
And I love that graphic you had because it insinuates that not only are the current crop of Chiefs receivers eating, they're eating well. And without further ado, guys, we just got off to our start here. We're a couple days before Halloween, but like we said, Randi, it is all treats. There's no tricks here on Arrowhead Allies. Randi Mahomes is joining us wearing one of her brand new Gameday Couture sweatshirts, and it is lovely. Randi, how are you doing?
I'm wonderful after that big win last night. So yes, I'm just, you can't tell me nothing. I was been screaming. I'm surprised that y'all could hear me today.
Oh,
and
that is
a big one coming up next week with Buffalo. Are you excited for that yearly matchup?
I know. I watched it from home this time. So I don't know how I feel about all those slow replays and stuff. You know, they stress me out. I'd rather see it live. I'm like, okay, we don't need to see someone getting hit again. So it's hard for me.
Well, Randi, we got Halloween coming up this week. Are you like a big Halloween decorator? Is your house like decked out? Or are you like more just like pacing it out for Christmas?
I'm a Halloween person. And I have some things that can scare you and scare anybody that comes. So I have fun with it.
Love that.
Yeah. Halloween might be one of my favorite holidays, actually. Yeah.
Same.
Absolutely. I love Halloween. Christmas is a big one for me too. So I'm excited for that coming up. But we got
I love getting presents.
Okay, everybody noted.
Yeah.
Randi loves presents, so. And here's some gift ideas for Clint and I, for Clint's sister, our moms. Your collection, the Randi Mahomes collection with Gameday Couture. And I mean, this is just spot on, in style, a little vintage with it too. I mean, Clark Hunt recently said in an interview that Chiefs Kingdom's 57% women now with the Taylor Swift phenomenon. So just talk to us about kind of how that came about and how it's going early on so far.
Well, you know, we've been in this league, my son, for a while, and it was hard in the beginning to find some cute stuff for women, for ladies, and so I was always searching, and then just being able to team up with Gameday Couture and kind of put together some ideas that I'm excited for, that I want other girls, other moms, grandmas, even kids. Like I want everyone to be able to like it and have something different, and but still have our Chiefs logo for sure.
Well, I'm glad you're wearing that specific sweatshirt because that's the one I'm targeting for my mom for Christmas. She usually is watching, but not today. She's out of the country. So now we'll have this picture to show her like on Christmas Day. Like, look, Mom, it's the Randi Mahomes Couture sweatshirt.
Yes.
Energy. And you know what, Randi? We've talked about it before. You noticed how our logo resembles the movie Top Gun. We're all kind of 80s people around here, but it's got that vintage, like early 90s Chiefs look that so many people love. That's what I love about it.
Yeah, for so long I was looking for vintage stuff. I was going in like to vintage stores, eBay, everything, looking for it. And then I'm like, why don't I just come up with something? And so I had a great team that helped me. Not that I still don't look at vintage stuff occasionally. I call some like first year stuff vintage now because it's been 9 years. So I broke some of that out here recently just because I was like, we got to turn this team around. Little superstitious, so I broke out some of my very beginning shirts. Yeah,
I love that. And you also have your Sports Parent Academy. I mean, this is for parents of youth athletes, all athletes, that kind of feel overwhelmed, and the youth athletes are looking for answers. And it's not just about kind of the resources you can give them, but it's about kind of the experts that you can involve them with and put them in contact with in kind of fitness, research, nutrition. So talk about what's going on there. I know you unveiled kind of a new price package that makes it more affordable, more available to more people. So talk to us about all the exciting new things that are going on with Sports Parent Academy.
Well, I try to put all of the knowledge and things that I've learned over 30 years of having a son basically that played sports from day one, it feels like. And so I try to put together everything I've learned, even some of the new stuff that, I didn't know, or what I learned afterwards that I should have learned, while he was in high school. And so I try to gather as much of that along with, experts in different categories to come together to have something where parents can go to like a one-stop shop, because every year it gets a little more extreme. Luckily it wasn't as extreme, or I didn't feel like it was 15 years ago when Patrick was really getting growing up into sports. And so, it's just gotten to where it's so competitive, and it's extremely pricey for a lot of parents, but I just try to share the knowledge that I've learned and gained from it.
Brian, hit it.
Hey, I'm late to the party. Hey, Mrs. Mahomes, pleasure to meet
Right.
you. Thank you for coming on the show. And
Absolutely.
I hope that this question has not been asked yet. But well, like with raising Patrick, when he was a baby, what is the characteristic that you saw that would make him the exceptional leader that he is today? Was it something that stood out about him in front of all the other kids that you saw him playing around?
Well, he was my first child. And of course, he was always good at sports, any sport. Everything was a ball to him. Anything that he picked up, he was going to yell catch. And so I thought it was kind of normal at first. Well, then I started seeing his abilities at 3 and 4, 5. I mean, so early. And other parents would come up to me and say, "How do you get them to do that? How do you get them to throw it or to learn the game?" Because they were coming to me just seeing it at that young of age. And I would say, "I don't know how to stop him. Like, I have to ground him or take something away, when he's in trouble, because like it's always catch." And so just seeing that, and having at the time I was married, and Major League Baseball players asking me, "Geez, I can't," telling me I can't get my son to go out, and do this every day, and your son is at the field. And I'm like, he's waiting by the door wanting to go. So it was something that was instilled in him and built in him. I mean, he's even acknowledged there's been people that may have had more talent, but you got to work hard along the way. And he was going to put in that work. And then at the same time, it used to hurt my feelings as a mom, because I had to miss a lot of stuff being a single mom and working. When he would get home, I would be like, "Did y'all win?" Or, trying to get the update. And later I'd find a trophy or an MVP plaque like broke in the bottom of his bag. He didn't care to come home and share that. He was already ready for the next game. And that was at 8, 9, and 10. Like, I couldn't get anything out. He was just ready, like, "Oh yeah, we won. It's good." And not telling me that he won, player of the game and things like that when he was younger. And so it was always a team sport where he was wanting everyone, including his best friend on the team, or the newest player, or the one that their parents forced him to be on the team. He was wanting everyone to do good. And so I knew he had a talent when it came to playing as a team. And then, of course, playing sports, period.
Well, Randy, one of the things that we've just loved so much over the last 8 years is getting to know your family, the dynamics of it. We just have cherished all of this, and your daughter-in-law, Brittany. And it's such a great story, considering that Patrick and Brittany met and started dating in high school. But my question about that is, at the beginning, Patrick's always said that he was kind of put in the friend zone by Brittany early on. So kind of what was your knowledge of this at the time? Did you have any like advice for Patrick? Did you talk about stuff like that? Like, "Hey, you got to make a move. You got to make this happen." And now, all these years later, she's a part of your family. You've got 3 wonderful grandkids, and Brittany's just beloved by Chiefs Kingdom as well. So just kind of take us through that dynamic.
Well, he didn't really share like his personal stuff at first. But then, kind of hearing it now and then how they started dating, I'm like, I can totally see that. And then once they did, it was all in, I think, at that point. I think he was sophomore, junior. It was all in. And I say she's been around since my daughter was two, so 14 years. I mean, she's been around. So she's like a daughter to me. I kind of, I kind of helped maybe not raise her, but she grew up with Patrick and was always around, and we've always been very close. Where she'll call me, we'll keep in touch, especially when he was in college, and we would always hang out whenever he would come home.
Mhm.
Well, a couple other things you have, Randy, or is your qbproducer.com website. So if you could take us to kind of what's going on there, what people can find there, obviously
Yes,
some,
I'm actually working on the website.
yeah.
So I'm working to get that updated with a lot of new stuff on there. Whether it's video, home videos, some fun, memories or just what's going on new. So that's going to be coming soon. I do have the website, but I'm ready to revamp that. And then the Play Together book is something that me and my best friend put together at a time. I mean, like we've known each other since we were in sixth grade, and it's a a long friendship that we've had fights, we've argued, but we've learned to play together. So we want to share that with everyone. And when I do go read to children or hospitals or anything, I let them know like this is even for the adults in the room because everyone can learn to get along and have fun, and instead of everyone arguing. Especially during the politics and during, games, people get so passionate. I'm like, we could all learn to play together. We can disagree, but, at least still be friends. So
Mm.
that was the part with the book. And then, I've had the website, the QB producer kind of started as a joke. Um, Patrick's first couple of years there, and so it kind of stuck from there. And so it's just growing, and I'm falling in love with Kansas City. I think I'd be living there if under other circumstances, and one day I probably will be in Kansas City living just because it's my home away from home.
Uh,
But by the
Well,
way, next time I come on, if y'all allow me again, I'm going to get all
Yeah.
these trophies behind me and I'm going to set it up really good so I'll look as cool as y'all look.
oh, there you go.
I'm feeling like pretty plain over here, and I'm like, where's Patrick's stuff? I'm gonna like set it all up and have me a cool little background.
Yes.
We see the plant back there. It's a beautiful
Yeah,
plant.
that's the first plant I've kept alive. So I mean, gotta get it in there. So
Hey, we're on a roll. More to come.
yeah.
Mrs. Mahomes, you can keep it real with me. All right, look,
For sure.
look. I know you down with the swirl, and and look, I am of biracial. I'm a black man. I am biracial by nature, and I know the navigation with this life and trying to, you know, how was that navigating that with Patrick growing up with him having a black father and you being white? Like what was that relationship like between the three of you all? Because I know firsthand what that dynamic is.
Yeah, it's growing up, it was really really tough. From a small East Texas town, a lot of judgment, but I learned at an early age to ignore it and not see it. And there are times that um, you get living in East Texas and living in a small area that it wasn't as normal as it is today, I guess you can say.
Hmm.
You got a lot of looks, you got a lot of things said. I learned to just look over it and ignore people for their ignorance, I guess you could say, or them not knowing or learning. It took time. People learn to accept things, and I kind of laugh now because I'm like, now everyone loves us. Like at one point, we had a hard time, through the younger years, at times. But I think I've really kept my kids protected. I was very, very protective of that. And not that they haven't gone through, their own situations at time, but I've tried my best just to be oblivious to it. I love all people. And so it's just something that I've really have tried to protect them. There have been times, that I've been hurt deep down on different situations, but I didn't let them see that. My kids, I wanted to protect them. Sometimes I think I protected them too much. I should have, let them hear and know a little bit more. But as a parent, you always want to protect your children.
Do you remember a time where Patrick went through any adversity with that?
Um, yeah, I have. I've known times. It's something that we grew from. We've talked about. It was conversations that we sit down and talk about. Whether I've reached out to a friend's parents or his friend's parents, and I let them know my feelings. So it is something that it made us who we are today, and made him who he is today. And so there were certain instances, and I'm sure there were some he probably never even brought up to me, probably trying to protect me. And so, it's just something that, always, let them know that I love them. Their dad loved them. Of course, their grandparents thought the world of them. So, it's just something that we had to learn together as a family, especially at the time that me and his dad got together and got married. It wasn't as like it is today, I guess you could say. 30 years ago it wasn't the same.
Commonplace.
Here. Yeah.
Thank you for sharing that.
Well,
Yeah, no problem. No problem.
Randy, we know that Patrick's probably best friend on the team is Travis Kelce. Travis had a monster game last night, 99 yards and a touchdown. It was great to see these two just doing what they do, and we're just so lucky to be able to see it and to live this and how we've done it for so many years. We hope that this continues on at least a little longer for Travis. But with you being around Kansas City a lot and going to a lot of games, and when Taylor Swift kind of got introduced to the situation, like what's been your experience like kind of in the suites with meeting Taylor, being around her? I know she has been like really cool to your daughter Mia and has some great pictures there. Oh, there's one on the screen that's adorable.
Yeah.
What's that been like? She just seems like such a cool part of Cheese Kingdom as well.
Well, she's very nice, very genuine from what I see, from what I've learned and gotten to know. And I knew from day one that I did meet her. It's kind of hard for me to look at Patrick because he's my son, to know that people get excited about meeting him. And it's still like, okay, you're still my son. I don't look at you that way. And so I wanted to be able to treat Taylor or anyone else that came involved like just as normal as I would treat or be with anybody. And she's been the, a perfect, sweet person that has embraced my family, my children, my grandkids. And so, I mean, I could not love her, but I know I definitely had taught myself and said, I'm just going to be the same, and I want to treat her the way Patrick wants to be treated, just normal and not have to feel any type of way. So,
Sure.
yeah.
And I know Patrick has opened up this amazing 1587 Prime Steakhouse, rave reviews. Everyone that has reviewed it said it's great ambiance, beautiful, great food, great drinks. And you were there with your family recently. I'm sure you've been there many times. But when do you remember hearing about that from Patrick, that him and Travis are thinking about opening up this restaurant? And then what's been your experience being there?
Yeah, it's crazy because I used to get really upset with Patrick because he doesn't get excited. That was my thing, him growing up. I'm like, okay, get excited. Like, come on, we're doing something cool. And he just never did that. He was just very, calm. And um he was very excited about this restaurant. I don't know. I was like, wait, who is this child? He never gets excited. He was very excited to share with me about the menu, him doing tastings, it opening. And I was like, wait a minute. He's not just excited about food, like what? But he really has been, and he's made sure that we went with him a couple of times, and we've been, just me and the other kids, and shared it with family. So we got to celebrate his 30th birthday there. I've joked with him because he didn't ask for any of my recipes at all for the menu.
Come
I
on,
mean, I
Patrick.
know I'm not the best cook, but I did talk to one of the managers there or, people. And I was like, if you ever need a Randy Mahomes menu item, I got you. And we
Let's go.
laugh because I'm not the chef in the family or the cook in the family. And so he thinks Patrick's like rolling his eyes. And so we joked with him on his birthday that, my special pasta was about to come out. And he kind of like looked at everyone crazy for a moment. So, anyways, but he's really proud of it. I know they got to tailgate or they 1587 tailgated yesterday. I wanted to be there so bad, but my daughter started basketball here. So it's, trying to split my time. But he's super excited. I know we went not too long ago after the game. And I think one of those pictures, it was after the game. We all, some of the team and everybody went up there. And so it's kind of good to them to have their little private space too on top of it where they can enjoy and just have fun and eat, themselves.
Mhm. Okay, this may be like a three-part question. It's not gonna be long, fellas. I promise. So I
Okay.
know in the Mahomes household there had to be some Cowboys fans up in there. I know that. So I know in your family you probably know a couple Cowboys fans. What is the
Yes.
dynamic going to be? First off, what is the dynamic going to be on Thanksgiving when we play the Cowboys? And do you know who the Dallas Texans are?
Did I or do
Do
I?
do you know who the Dallas Texans are?
Yes. I know
Okay.
that.
Okay,
Yes.
so before you before you answer the Thanksgiving question, is there any way that you could petition Patrick Mahomes, your son, to get the Chiefs to wear the Dallas Texans jerseys on
Ooh,
Thanksgiving?
Ah,
Can we
let's
do
go.
that this year?
that is a great idea. I was just watching the game the other night with the Steelers and Green Bay and like the old school or the jerseys, and I almost
Right.
texted Patrick to say, "Hey, are y'all gonna?" But that would be really awesome.
I'm just
Hey,
saying,
we're
look,
gonna speak that one into existence there.
please do. But
Yeah.
what is that dynamic going to be with your family and Thanksgiving? Because I know y'all family was some Cowboys fans before Patrick was with the
I
Chiefs.
wasn't a big football fan. I didn't really have a team, but I guess, being from East Texas, if I had to choose one, it would have been the Cowboys. Um, Patrick's first, probably only NFL game he went to growing up was a Cowboy game. I have pictures he did have on that other color jersey. We sat for some reason, I don't know how, we sat on the very front row. Don't know how. So all we saw was the cheerleaders. Like that was it. Like we were right on the front row. But he did go when he was about probably 8 or 9 to the Cowboys game. That was the one and done game that we went to for a lot for football. But I did tell him a few years ago when the Cowboys played against the Chiefs in Kansas City. I told him that year, I was like, I don't care if you win another game ever, you have to beat the Cowboys because I have to go back to Texas and work, around a lot of Cowboy fans. Even though most of the Cowboy fans around here have turned into Chiefs fans. But yeah, I'm like, no, not you got to beat Texas teams. You like, there's just no other way around it. I mean, at the time, I was so serious, like you have to like no more Super Bowls. You have to beat the Cowboys. And so now I'm like, we will have a lot of family and friends there. And so there was a lot of friends and family, of course, still is. I don't allow any blue at my house or,
Yeah.
anything like that. But, you know, I mean, being from Texas, you rooted for them, I
We
guess.
respect it. Yeah, we respect
Yeah.
it for sure.
That's
Yeah.
wonderfully said.
And that was in the good, like back then when I guess I rooted for them, they had Jimmy Johnson, they had
Right.
Troy Aikman. I mean, like they were good. I mean, that's who everyone rooted for. So
Right.
Yeah,
yeah,
understandably, of course. Well, yeah, Brian, I love your idea about the Texans uniforms. Haven't been worn since I believe '09. We're going to
they
try to.
need
Oh,
to.
we got to get it.
That would be amazing.
Randy, before we let you go, and you've been so gracious with your time, we can't thank you enough. We had the opportunity to meet you in Green Bay. You're the Sports Parent Academy there. And it was such a wonderful experience. We just thank you so much for being a part of what we do and for being on today. And my quick one here is, I know you're an 80s girl. So I got an
Yes.
80s guy. I do nothing but go to 80s rock concerts, and I love everything 80s and watch 80s movies. So what is your favorite 80s musical group? What is your favorite 80s movie?
Well, I loved Karate Kid.
Yes. Oh,
Loved it.
I
I
almost
mean, like I had it on VHS, rewind, all that.
yes.
Um, and you know what's crazy is the Beastie Boys. I know like every word to every song. So
Wow.
when it comes on at the game and stuff, like I can like rap every single song to it, and I'm like, this was my time. So it's funny to hear it at the Chiefs game and like Travis loving it, and I'm like one of my best friends at the time had the tape back then, and we would play it in her car every day. And her dad got so tired of it, he threw the tape out the window. The Beastie Boys
Yeah.
broke our
Oh, no.
heart. But we probably went home and watched The Karate Kid. I don't know, but that is definitely my 80s like go to.
That
You was
would.
playing that Paul Revere too much.
Oh my God.
Well, something.
So sad, Randy. I had a Johnny Lawrence from Cobra Kai, the leather jacket, and I almost wore it
Oh,
tonight
yeah.
for Halloween. I was like, no, we got to keep it classy. Randy's here. And now I found out your favorite movie's Karate Kid, and I'm never.
Yes, but I was definitely more Mr. Miyagi, like, doing
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
all that. Ralph Macchio, like, yeah, total
Absolutely.
crush. Had a crush on him a little bit. So, yeah,
He hasn't aged. They just did the remake on
I
Netflix,
know.
Cobra Kai. I'm like, what?
Well, when Cobra Kai came on, I was like, wait a minute. Like, we got to watch Karate Kid, like, again. Like, I needed my kids to watch that because that was my, wax on, wax off, all of that.
Absolutely. You got to teach him the good stuff. But
I
Randy,
know.
mine is, where did Patrick's love of ketchup come from? I share it with him. And what's like the weirdest thing that he would put it on and you guys would give him weird looks? Because I put it on like Thanksgiving, my turkey, my green beans, and I get weird looks. So
Oh, yeah.
Green beans. Oh
Yeah.
no.
Yeah. He would put it on eggs and like chips. Yeah, like a dip or something. So, yeah, I guess he got it from me. I love any condiment. Like and the older I get, I'm like, just give me all of them. So, that was a thing. He used to get ketchup for his birthday, like from his like friends. They would give him big bottles of ketchup because that was just a thing. So, yeah.
That man is sick.
Yeah. No, hey,
He is
whatever
sick.
works. Whatever works.
I
Yeah.
just want to shout out the entire Mahomes family for bringing Whataburger to Kansas City.
Oh,
Y'all don't know what y'all have done. Okay, the
hey,
first time I had Whataburger, it was not that good. I had it in Houston, but here with the way, oh my God, thank you guys. We appreciate
oh, yeah. It's a staple in our family. It was the closest fast food place to my old house that I lived at, and so I was like, kids, right there. Like I said, I'm not a great cook. I did create a good quarterback, so I didn't really have to be a great cook, is what I tell people. I always say I'm gonna learn that in my next few years. I'm gonna learn to cook, but it's just not my favorite thing to do. But I did make sure my kids ate, maybe with a lot of ketchup, a little Chick-fil-A,
you sound like my
Whataburger.
mom.
Yeah,
Early show.
yeah. It wasn't as fancy as 1587, but we started somewhere. We started at the bottom.
Well, Randy, we can't thank you enough. This has been just a wonderful treat, and thanks for everyone that's joined and left comments here in the stream. We'll have to do it again. It's so
For
wonderful.
sure, because I'm gonna break out the trophies in the attic, and I'm gonna decorate it up, and I'm gonna get on point.
We'll be in touch, Randy. Thank you so much. And
Thank
Thank
y'all.
you.
big game coming up on Sunday. Big win last night, and let's keep the
Yeah,
momentum going here. Good luck
for
to me in
sure.
our basketball season too. Let's go.
Stay
Thank
blessed.
you. Thank y'all.
absolute honor. Take care.
All
Thank you.
right. Bye.
That was wonderful.
That was Randy Mahomes. That's coming off of a Chiefs Monday night victory over the Washington Commanders in a uniform set that I will say was somewhat tolerable. Brian, I got to say, it was not the worst thing I've ever seen. The numbers are growing on me.
Okay.
The bubbly textured numbers are growing.
Okay.
The W, not so much because I went to Winnetonka and it looks just like that. So I don't know.
Oh, okay. Look, I will say, I was high on the Commanders uniforms when they first came out. I'm kind of not high on them anymore,
Oh,
especially when I saw that they're wearing the old R word uniforms this year, except without the Native American on it. So I'm looking for, because I'm tell y'all this about Washington, and they're going to go back to the R words, y'all. They're moving back to RFK.
Yeah.
They're moving back to DC. They're bringing the whole thing back, baby. So this Commander stuff is only going to last for about 3 or 4 more years. So, yeah,
That's interesting. That'll be interesting to see
it
because
is.
and it's a topic for another day, of course, because like I'm just like a classic fence sitter on it because like I love the history of that and the uniforms that they had in the Sonny Jurgensen yellow pants and then the Joe
Oh, the
Theismann.
yellow pants, yeah.
all of
The
it.
uniforms, Washington, when they had the RG3 era uniforms, those are probably my
Yeah.
favorite ones.
Yeah, not the
Oh my
Spurrier,
God, when they wore the yellow pants, yeah, they look
not the
good.
Spurrier ones that were the Florida State, not those, but
Oh, I
Yeah,
love those
Spurrier with
too.
the
I love
spear on
those
the
too.
helmet.
Yeah, the Florida State ones, I love those too. The
it
one with the
was
arrow on the side, yeah,
that was it's going to be interesting. We'll leave that for when the time comes.
yeah.
I'd be happy to have a discussion about it. We'll see what happens. But last night, the version of the Commanders that came in here, man, we saw from the get-go they were game. They were ready to go. Bobby Wagner on defense is looking like he's back 25 years old as opposed to 47. They flew around. They were making plays. They were wreaking havoc. The Chiefs turned the ball over twice, and it was an ugly first half. We all know it. We all saw it. And the Chiefs, inevitably took the game over and ran away in the second half. And it's a final score that we all probably would have expected. A first half, maybe not so much, but Marcus Mariota played a good game. And the Chiefs, get to 5-3. That's all that matters coming out of this. A lot of big games coming up. So Monday night game is in the books, and it's a win. What else could you expect, guys?
Yeah, I talked about it on Brian's World about the slow start and how I hate it when the Chiefs are the one taking the punch. I can't stand it because this team, I feel like when we do deliver the first punch, when we're the aggressor, when we're the one with the more intensity and more of the juice, like the Chiefs are almost unstoppable at that point. And it took them a while to turn it on. It did. And I blame most of that on the offensive line. Look, man, Trey Smith is
Yeah.
out, Josh Simmons is out. And those guys were getting after Jalen Moore at left tackle for the first 2 drives or so, but he corrected it. He got it right. I want to say in the middle of the second quarter when the Chiefs kind of got things going a little bit. And then Caliendo, he was getting his ass whooped at right guard. And Jawan Taylor, he didn't have a stellar game. It was okay, but it wasn't a stellar game, especially in the first half. The offensive line was getting their ass whooped, man. And Washington, they ran out of gas. They brought all they could in the first half. They made it cute. They kept it close, but eventually, this is my favorite thing about the Chiefs. As I wrap this point up, is that the adjustments that this coaching staff makes. Like
Yeah.
Spags, I saw in an interview where, he kind of hinted at kind of letting the team get what they want on the first drive, just because it's about note taking. It's about what are you going to do on this third down? What are you going to do in this situation when it's second and long? What are you doing on first downs? So it's a lot of that. It's a lot of chess and gamesmanship going on early in the game. That's why the second halves of football games are always beautiful to watch, especially on red zone, but especially with this coaching staff and Steve Spagnuolo. And I thought Matt Nagy did a great job of adjusting too on the offensive side as well, man. So I thought that the Chiefs won that in the coach's seat last night for sure.
Absolutely. That's a good point on Spags because we've said for years that it feels like he gives up 7 early on, maybe the first drive, and then he tends to shut things down. And that's what we saw on defense. But man, this was just a crazy game. You talked about the offensive line. We had started off well. Debo, the ball goes off his hands. Mike Dana picks it, but then Travis Kelce returns the favor off his hands to Washington. And just to Brian, to your point again, just it seemed like after they failed on those 4th downs, they kept trying to go for it. They were out of steam. They had to convert those. They had to get ahead of the Chiefs. And when it was tied at half, they're just like, man, that was all we had.
Were you guys watching the Manning cast, or were you at the game, or did you watch the regular broadcast?
I was on the regular.
Yeah.
Okay. Manning cast, they broke it down to where they don't think that ball was intended for Kelce.
Right. Juju.
Did they say that? Did Buck and Aikman say that?
They did not. This was kind of a later after the game thing when I was looking at it. I did not hear that.
Oh.
Buck and Aikman, by the way, who they take too much. They struggled last night. I always defend them. Last night was a struggle. The Travis
Buck and Aikman?
I know a lot of people don't like him anyway.
Not my favorite.
But I get it. But they're talking about, Kelce looks like he's bobbling this. There was not even remotely a bobble on his touchdown whatsoever. And it was just like Troy was reaching. And, we interviewed Buck before the season about Chiefs fans hating him, and he took it really well and was very cool about it. But I thought they struggled last night. And but to your point, yes, I do believe that. Because I think it was Jared Goff that said on the Manning cast that ball is zipped on a line. Like that's not for Kelsey. Like that's for the player on the back half of that. So
yeah.
Juju,
It was for Juju, and Peyton Manning was explaining too on the back shoulder with Hollywood Brown on the first interception. He was explaining that Hollywood turned around too fast or something like that, because that's when Lattimore turned his head around and got the interception. So
you can't throw that.
you know, Patrick gonna be Patrick. Look, a shooter's gonna shoot. He's he got a little bit of that gunslinger in him. He made up for it, but couple mistakes like that in that first half, man. That I'm surprised that Aikman didn't point that out though. I know Manning and Eli, they're superior when it comes to the knowledge of the game, but that's why I'm pure Manning cast, guys. Whenever Manning cast is on, it's must see TV for me.
Yeah, that's a good point. I probably need to get into that. I always forget that there's another broadcast. It just blows my mind. Like the Thursday night games, I know they have a cool one that like shows the routes as the play's going.
Oh yeah, do you watch the Prime Vision? Oh my God, it is, bro. It is game changing. I'm telling you, I don't mean to dip off, but quickly, y'all have to know this. All my football watchers, if you go to Prime Vision and you're watching the game on your TV, you can press down and go to what I call the Madden setting, where you're seeing the entire field and you're seeing the routes develop and stuff. Every single network has to get that on their broadcast.
I agree. I love watching that and seeing how things are coming together. And like you said, on that Mahomes back shoulder, I think it was a good idea, a good pass. It's just like you said, Hollywood Brown turned around, that gave a key to Marcus Lattimore to turn around, and then Hollywood just couldn't make a good play on it, but Lattimore did. You just got to tip your cap to him there. But Clint, you talked about Travis Kelce. That's his 100th career touchdown reception, 83 career touchdowns for the Chiefs, ties him with Priest Holmes. I mean, he's got a lot of juice left. People said, like, oh, maybe he's only got a couple games left of high production. I think we're going to see a lot of this now that, like Brian talked about earlier in the season, once Rasheed gets back, once Xavier's healthy, that's going to really open things up underneath for a guy like Kelce, and boy, has it.
God, you just notice, and this goes for Travis doubly now, that guys are just open. I haven't seen it in years. The schemes are there. The horses are there. Rasheed Wright's intermediate stuff. You're sucking the defenders down. You're getting people open in the intermediate routes and in the medium routes. And then, by the way, Travis Kelce's leaking out, blocking, and then wide open and on that play that he went 38 yards. It is a beautiful thing, and it's a sight to behold. And I love it for my man, Travis. He talked the talk. He's been feast or famine at times because he has created 2 very costly turnovers. But when you're turning in 99-yard games and you're the leading receiver on this team in yards, I mean, you got to give it up to our guy, Trav. He's going to be 37 next year. And I know we're getting ahead of ourselves, Brian. We've all wanted to do it and talk about next year, but I want him back. I want to do it all over again. And I think at this point, we see no reason why he can't.
Yeah, he's certainly looking good, man. Looking at least 5 or 6 years younger. And that's the thing with this offense, and that's what I've been preaching, man. Is like one guy just has to win that one-on-one. And there are so many superior like athletes on this team at the wide receiver. We don't even see Tyquan Thornton anymore, dog. We don't even see him anymore. And so, man, it's so many athletes on this team. Who are you seriously going to guard? Who are you going to focus on? Because if you focus on Rasheed Rice, which I think that they did last night, I think the Commanders tried to take Rasheed Rice out of the game. Kelsey's going to eat. You take Kelsey out, you go, Xavier Worthy's going to eat. And, you saw Pacheco. He's starting to get his legs right. He get 12 carries, 59 yards, something like that. He was look, man, that's all I've been saying. And the EGE model is perfect for this team.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot to go to there, Brian. I'm going to start with where you ended. Everybody got to eat. And man, I posted this and Bills fans came after me, not because they're in the image, because they say that the Chiefs are stealing this motto. They say that Joe Brady said everybody eats in, I think, September of 2024, and they don't know the background.
Nobody's paying attention to you, Buffalo. Nobody. Stop.
I think,
by the way, can you put that graphic back up, please?
Brian,
you're the one. That is a superior graphic. I love that.
That's great.
Did you make that, or did you find it?
ChatGPT made it.
Oh, okay. Well, is it your idea?
Yeah.
I love it. Superior graphic. I love it. Look, we have a wonderful graphics department here at Starcade Media. I'm just saying. But no, look, Bills fans, nobody's paying attention to you. Okay. And who gives a damn if you made it up? We're performing it. You're not. Josh Allen is your hope and savior. That's all you have. We have weapons galore.
Brian, you came up with this saying it was in 2023. And they said, I'm sorry if anybody came up with it. It was Brian on this show. Of course,
the Bills and Joe Brady stole it from Brian. So,
well, we had to land because it was no one was eating, but
it's really off. Okay, so it's really off of a movie called Paid in Full. Have y'all seen it?
Okay, no.
Starring Cameron, Mekhi Phifer. It's a Rockefeller movie. It's a hood classic. Came out in 2002. So. It's just what I got it from that when a dude referred to people on the block, I ain't eating. So it's just everybody gotta eat. But that's just yeah. I did apply it to the Chiefs though in that season in 2023. I thank you for pointing that out though, because I did.
And you also mentioned Pacheco getting his legs under him. I don't know if that was some sort of pun, but week to week with an MCL sprain. With Pacheco,
I thought he was fine.
He was fine. He got up. He was happy, but they just came out today and said week to week MCL sprain. So I don't know if we're calling up Elijah Mitchell, more obviously Kareem Hunt, Rashard Smith. I don't know if we need to make a trade for someone. I don't know how long this week to week thing is. Hopefully it's not an Eric Berry situation. But on the other side of this, the Bengals released Mike Pennell, and just before we started the show, the Chiefs have brought him back, Mike Pennell back in the fold.
Love it.
Oh, he's in? We already got him? We already got him on the team?
Report 810's Jason Anderson is reporting that. We haven't seen it from like the Schefters and stuff like that. But
yes,
Jason
sir. Yes, sir. We don't have to make a trade. We don't give it no assets. We got a player that's been on this team. He ain't forgot the playbook. Oh, perfect. Thank you, Bengals. Oh, we love you, Cincinnati.
I do. I'm a fan of Bears now.
Why would they do that though? Seriously, like, are they that bad of an organization that they had no foresight with this?
Well, I think I read something where Mike Pennell asked for his release and it saved the Bengals on some guarantees and stuff. And
oh, okay.
No, this is really like
let's get in our wrestling bag, please. Please, Clint. I'm sorry. I have to say this real quick. I'm sorry. Time out. Do you all remember the story about how Diesel came to WWF?
Exactly the story I was going to say.
Kevin, go ahead. Take it away. Take it away.
No. This is you. Kevin Nash.
Take it away.
Kevin Nash is a loser in WCW. He's like, I don't think this is really for me. Just give me my release. Fax it over to WWF, and I show up as Shawn Michaels' bodyguard, and I'm Diesel, baby. And now Mike Pennell back in the building. Brian, we love to see it. He's a familiar face. Everybody loves him in the locker room. Chris Jones said it's our brother. We got to have him back, and we need the depth. Let's be honest. This is perfect.
We do. And fellas, the jersey number 69 is available.
I love that number for a football team. I just, because it's unconventional. Like, there's not a lot of great.
Because you're a freaky fraud.
That is not true.
Okay, Clint.
This YouTube stream will end right now.
I'm going to leave that to you, my boy. Okay.
Brian found you out, Clint.
I love weird numbers like 86.
I hate that number. I'm gonna tell you an ugly number, 86.
It is
47.
Yes.
57. What's another 46?
Yeah.
45. I have a list of ugly numbers. The number 6 by itself, I hate that number by itself.
Yeah. Unconventional. I like that.
I seriously have a list of numbers. I'm jersey numbers, dead ass. I might be showing a little bit of my weird side here, but I have a jersey list of numbers that I would have if I was a running back or if I was a wide receiver or whatever.
I agree, but that's all muddy now because they've let everyone do whatever they want with the single digits.
Right. Just give me number 8. That's all. Just give me the number 8.
Defensive linemen wearing single digits in college and things are just very bizarre, but yeah, big old fat like 300-pound lineman with number 6 doesn't work. It doesn't work right. But
yeah, I'm more old school when it comes to that stuff. I hated it. I hated it when the NFL went wild with the jersey numbers, but hell, I'm used to it now.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, it's been long enough. It's just like, all right, that sucks, but whatever you want to do with your life, sir. If you want to wear 6, wear 6. Guys, we got to get to kind of the AFC West standings. we can't seem, I mean, the Chargers lost to the Colts, but since then we can't seem to get them to lose. The Broncos keep flirting with it, but they won't lose either. And so the Chiefs remain in third place, having lost to the Chargers. So that's that tiebreaker. But they have snuck into the playoff picture currently. The Jags fall out, the Chiefs take their spot. And if the playoffs started today, they would be traveling to New England, which I say, I mean, I want to fight for a higher seed, but if we have to play at New England, sign me up for that. I'm not scared of that.
Yeah, but you know what, Brian, and we've talked about this, and you said it last week. You said, hey, this playoff picture, this will all come into play. We'll talk about it when it comes, but the visual of the Chiefs getting into the 7 seed, they have an 81% chance to make the playoffs according to NFL.com. So that 7 seed is fluid, and we know that. But I believe we're going to test the metal coming up. We got these 3 games. We're going to talk about that because you've got these 3 with the Bills at Broncos and then Colts coming up. That's going to define the season. It's going to define your seed. And I feel the Chiefs will be punished for that slow start and that loss at the Jaguars and the 3 losses because the Colts are just playing great right now. Still a lot to shake out. Division still very much in play. We'll see where we wind up. But for now, good to see the Chiefs are in the party, in the dance, and they're invited.
Yeah, and we're going to wreck the damn thing, too.
There you go.
Let me tell you why. You know, it's all cute with this football that we're seeing right now in September and October. But, fellas, did you go outside today? Do you see what's going? You see what's going on out there? Real football is about to be played. Everybody knows, and we're not even post-Thanksgiving, but post-Thanksgiving football, damn it, that's the real football. All this bullshit you see in August and September, summer, October, it's bullshit. A lot of those teams don't last. A lot of the fun, because these quarterbacks can't cut the air when it starts to snow, when the air starts to get cool. Look, football changes when it gets cold, y'all. Like, if you ever played football, it is a different brand of football when it gets cold. The hits are way harder. They sting a little bit more. And some guys are not cut or built out for that. And I have a weird feeling that not only Bo Nix, but Daniel Jones, and the reason why he is playing well is because they in that damn dome in Indianapolis. And kudos to them, but that plays a big part into, you know, on those play action passes. Is this ball going to go exactly where I need it to go? And that's why Patrick Mahomes is so special, is because through this thick ass Arrowhead wind that we have, and when it's, 32 below, he can still cut the wind. It has yet to be seen with Daniel Jones. It has been yet to be seen with Herbert. If he can do it, I don't think he can do it. He's a West Coast guy. I haven't seen it with any of the Drake May. So Josh Allen, he can do it. He can cut it, but he can't beat Mahomes, even in the cold. So, fellas, I say all that to say, and that's why I was patient with the playoff picture, because the real games need to be played. And I am so glad that this part of the season is here now, because it's time for the Chiefs to show everybody what our ass look like, because everybody's about to kiss it after the next 3 weeks. After we beat Buffalo, we have a bye week, we sip a little pina colada, we come back and we go to Denver and we beat the Broncos and show you who's daddy. And then we come back home and then we beat Indianapolis and show you the AFC who's daddy, and so on and so forth, man. So look, the Chiefs are built for this. We ready for this. These other teams, I don't think so.
Dude, I love
Chiefs
that.
are built for it. The Chiefs are winning the next 3. We're going to need it, because if you take a look at some of these schedules here, you've got the Patriots, then the Bills, the Colts, Broncos, and then we end at the Chargers left to right here. There's not a lot of losses you're looking at, but anything can happen any Sunday, any given Sunday. Weird stuff can happen. But the Chiefs are going to have to take care of business, and hope that some of these teams fall so that they can move up. The Patriots and Bills have some tough games, but their tough games are against each other, the Patriots and Bills. So the Patriots have the Ravens later on in the season. The Ravens could get things going. And I don't see a ton of losses for these other teams. So it's going to be imperative that the Chiefs lose maybe only 1 more game, 2 more games at tops.
The Ravens are winning that AFC North, by the way.
Oh, my. Very well could be the case. That is a crazy concept, and that could help us in some ways. We have a tiebreaker over them. Not that would necessarily come into play, especially if they're the division champion. But for the Chiefs, you're looking at the Chargers, you're looking at the Broncos, and I'll tell you this, and I hate to say it, but that 33 points in the fourth quarter against the Giants changed everything for the Denver Broncos, because I think people are starting to question Bo Nix. You're starting to look at this team and say, I don't think this offense is what we thought it was going to be. We love the pass rush, but they pulled off that epic comeback. They just beat the snot out of the Dallas Cowboys. They're starting to believe that they're the best team in this division. But like you said, Brian, we'll find that out in a couple weeks when the Chiefs go there after their bye week. But for now, all the Chiefs can do is take care of their own business and see what happens around them.
Oh, those cute little Broncos. Oh, yeah.
They were cute this past Sunday in those uniforms. They were cute.
Oh, yeah, okay, yeah. You want to talk about that too? Like, cause look, that Denver Dallas game, boy, it was a sight for sore eyes, man.
9.9 out of 10 on the uniform scale. Those two.
Yeah, it was pretty damn good, man. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm glad you brought that up. The Broncos. Look, I know we hate Denver, we do, but you have to admit the Broncos D logo. It's an elite football logo. Yep. It is.
1,000%. I don't know why they moved away from it. I guess they say it works.
You know
we
why.
ended up winning a Super Bowl.
Why do people act like y'all forget about what happened in the 90s? Why do y'all do that? You know, because people seem to forget that, like, the style in the 90s, like, people were just tired of what we want to go back to now. People were tired of the regular stripes because all the uniforms, I would say like 80% of uniforms back then kind of look the same. You swipe out some colors, everybody got some stripes, everybody has a number, everybody had block numbers. So I can understand why Denver did what they did in 1997. But style is, what's the word? Cyclical. It comes, it goes, or whatever.
And big time in.
So look, we appreciate the past now. That's all.
Yeah, fair.
100%. And guys, we got to get into predictions because we have a little somber moment that we're going to do here at the end. We lost someone very close to us, but before we do that, we got to get to our predictions for this Bills game. This is a serious game. We are at Buffalo, and I mean, last year it didn't really matter when they beat us. This year it does, because we need every win we can get our claws onto, because like Clint said, we don't want to be paying the piper at the end of the season because we slipped up early in the season against the Chargers, against the Eagles, and against the Jags. So, Brian, do you want to start us off? You have some positivity here for us in this Bills game.
What? Never fret. Never fret, man. The Chiefs are going to walk into Buffalo. They're the Chiefs are the more complete team. The Chiefs are going to go in there, make the Bills one-dimensional, make Josh Allen put his cape on. This defense is playing. Look, they getting their shit together. This looks like this is looking more like the 2023 defense. Mm-hmm. And do we remember that's one of the best defenses of all time? Like, seriously. So this defense is rounding in the form, only allowing 7 points in the last 8 quarters. Look, man, they're going to shut Buffalo down. They're going to make them one-dimensional. And the Chiefs offense is going to do whatever the hell they want to do against a terrible Buffalo defense. Ed Oliver is out. He's not in there. So I think the run game is going to be there for the Chiefs. Man, I'm looking for a 34 to – I'll give the Bills some respect. They'll score 34-20 victory. Chiefs win big in Buffalo.
What?
Man, this is one of my losses coming into this season. It's almost an automatic, right? Chiefs, Bills in the regular season. The Bills always win that matchup dating back to 2020, the last time the Chiefs beat the Bills. The Chiefs haven't given up. They've only given up one 100-yard rusher in the last 2 years, and that was to Lamar Jackson week 1 of last season. So James Cook, he's getting it together. They're starting to feature him more, but I don't think that's going to be the factor for Buffalo. I do think that the way the Chiefs are playing right now, this offense, complementary football at its best, because like John Gruden said, they got a can of whoop ass on offense, and they got a can of whoop ass on defense. I think the Chiefs go to Buffalo and get right back into this thing by putting one on the Bills. I think it's going to be a little more low scoring than we'd like to think, maybe 24-21 type game. Chiefs win it, and then the conversation is going to really start beginning. Hey, are the Chiefs about to do something crazy like run the table and really make some big time noise here?
Yeah, I've got this one. I'll make it quick. 31-23 Chiefs. They take it down. Like Brian mentioned, Ed Oliver's out. They've got problems on defense. Their everybody eats mantra. Bills fans hate it because they say we don't have anyone to throw to, and Josh Allen doesn't have enough help and all. Everything the Chiefs would try to say, like, hey, Mahomes is out here winning MVPs with Juju and MVS and Sky Moore and Kadarius Toney, and they're sitting here like, oh, well, we're just going to lose. We don't stand a chance.
Maybe they shouldn't have traded us Xavier Worthy while they were at it.
Exactly. And Trent McDuffie on defense, they could use that help, but the Bills are going to bill, and I don't even think they're taking a regular season game, but I'm going to cede the rest of my time and try to help the Bills out here because that's what we like to do. We try to help out and just give back to the community at large and the world at large. And this is for you, Buffalo. George Atkinson on how he would try to stop Patrick Mahomes, our dear friend we lost just yesterday. The news came out that we lost George Atkinson.
Oh man,
he's been on our show from 2012. His last time, this clip that I'm about to show is from October 22nd, 2024, the last time he's on our show. And this is how he would try to stop Patrick Mahomes. So, Bills, take notes.
Put pressure on his ass. I mean, every down, I would blitz him from one side of the field to the other. Like Donald Trump said, drill, baby, drill. Hey, blitz, baby, blitz. You know? And that's what I would do with him. I mean, Mahomes is an innovator. You know, he makes something out of nothing. And when you have a guy like that, man, you got to put pressure. You can't let him sit back there and get comfortable. If you let him sit back there, he's going to pick you apart.
Just so many thoughts there, George. We love you. He was a genuine friend. The wisdom that he imparted on us, the stories he shared, I can't even describe it. There was that picture that was at Yard House one time when George was here with the Raiders Radio Network. It just breaks my heart. We love George. Yeah, he was on many times with us, with you, Brian, as well. And but that advice he gave, man, if the Bills want to do that, it's going to be a long day for them as well. So if they want to blitz, baby blitz, it's going to be bombs over Baghdad in Buffalo.
Oh, little outcast. Okay.
I don't even know if that's proper to say. Can we edit that out? Oh my God, I'm canceled.
Before we cancel Clint, George was on with Brian and Michael and Shane in one of the early iterations of Arrowhead Allies here, and I'm going to play a clip from that, just kind of the back and forth banter with George.
This is your chief show. We are the Allies, but we have an enemy invasion among us. We have our good friend, our buddy, the guy that softened my heart to the once Oakland Raiders, once Los Angeles Raiders, now Las Vegas Raiders. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Raider himself, the hitman, George Atkinson.
George, have you ever been this outnumbered before by Chiefs?
What propaganda?
You know, George, we've been talking to you for years. We had to finally go get some help here. You've been forum shivering us every week.
I see. You brought
years.
the cavalry.
But now you came into the hornet's nest again, and I hope we were pretty fair with you, my friend, because we were.
Hey man, always. Hey, you know, hey, I'm the intimidator, not you.
That's right. That's for sure.
It's getting hot. I'm sweating over here.
Thank you, George. Thank you so much,
man,
my friend.
Anytime. I appreciate you guys. Keep up the good work, and don't be bashful.
You bet.
Absolutely.
You, man.
Love you, George. Thank you, my friend.
Take care. All righty.
You too.
Oh, I'm going to remember that. I'm going to take George's advice. I'm going to not be bashful, and I'm probably just going to ask Randy Mahomes on a date. George is going to be my inspiration to do that.
Are you going to wear your Mike Pennell jersey?
No.
Number 69?
Oh.
Brian,
I
that's your favorite number, dog.
It is.
I'm just trying to hook it up for you, man.
Please. Gosh, no, we love George so much. And so many years, he was Mr. Raider. And that's what was great about this, is to be able to bring someone, especially, you know, Brian, you've always said your hated team, like Raiders are it for the Chiefs, and that rivalry from the AFL days, from Al Davis on to now. And George epitomized that back in the day with the Soul Patrol, him and Jack Tatum, and gosh, just Fred Biletnikoff and
Willie Brown.
That's just what that was. And it's like, part of me wishes I was alive back then to have lived that. Ken Stabler and Lynn Dawson, Otis Taylor, and that back and forth was freaking legendary, man.
That's what makes football fun to me, man. That's a big part of it is rivalries and going back and forth. But, you know, now being mature enough to also recognize that the game of football is a game, and that there are things bigger than that, like, you know, life and people. So it's good to, you know, kind of poke fun and go back and forth with Raiders, Chargers, and Broncos fans all alike. But at the end of the day, of course, the human in me always wishes everybody the best, no matter who they are. And it's sad to see a Raider legend like George Atkinson passed away. But I'm strong in my faith and my spirituality, and I know that people don't die; their spirits always live with you if you're tapped into it.
That's lovely. That's
Very
couldn't say
well
that
said.
better.
And I'm going to remember that laugh forever. Like Clint said, all the knowledge he imparted on us, treating us like equals, respecting our opinions on football, coming in, joining us, even though he's outnumbered, like we said there, by lots of Chiefs fans, and he's coming into the Hornets nest. And man, always so gracious, always so just friendly and loving. And man, we're just going to miss that connection. But like you said, Brian, that spirit's always going to be with us. We're tapped into it. We love George. We always will. And hopefully you guys stay tuned for our outro here as we've got a little more George for you, a little walk down memory lane with him. And man, we'll remember him forever. We love him. And Raiders!
Oh no, I ain't doing that.
Once.
I ain't doing
That was
that.
just for George, but this one's for Brian. Till next time, guys, after a big victory against the Buffalo Bills, go Chiefs!
It is officially Raiders week, and we couldn't do it without our good friend, the Hitman, George Atkinson, ladies and gentlemen.
It's about BTA, beating that ass. And that's what we did.
The autumn wind is a raider, pillaging just for fun. He'll knock you round and upside down and laugh when he's conquered and won.
I can't tell you. I mean, this has been just an absolute blast. Every time we have you on, we're reminded about just why we love this game and the players that we respect and the reason that why we're here doing what we do. And it's because of players like you and these great stories and these great players that you played with. Thank you for all that you've given this game. Thank you for all you've given us as friends and as confidants. We love you, George. That's all I got, man. We love you. You're the best.
Hey, man, appreciate you guys. Hey, it's my
Always an
pleasure, and anytime, it's an honor being on with you. Our love is strong, definitely.